In this brief video, we're going to look at marketing research. Brands use research to test new products, to test reactions to price changes, to test the usability of their websites, the effectiveness of their advertisements, and all kinds of promotion before it becomes live. Marketing research is a very important component to developing new products and new services. When we talk about marketing data, there are two basic types of data. The first is called primary data. Primary data is information collected specifically for the purpose of the current research problem. So that's something that's commissioned by the brand specifically to answer something that they want to have happen. For example, in the case of Dexy's Delightful Donuts, they're considering adding lunch service to their stores. One way they can test the idea would be to collect information specifically from their customers. Makes sense, right? Or perhaps they could add an online survey to their weekly customer email promotions or on their website itself. So they're specifically going after answers to their situation, which is trying to decide whether or not to add lunch to their menu. The second kind of marketing data is called secondary data, and that's information collected generally about an industry or about demographics. So for example, in the case of Dexy's Donuts, we could get information on the growth rates and types of food from the National Restaurant Association at restaurant.org. Right? So that's general information that the National Association has collected for all kinds of reasons. Competitive information, which we talk about in another video, can also inform the decision. Brands can track their competitors through a variety of online tools or by directly looking at competitive social media or websites. So that's another way to think about that. Whatever you decide to do, you need to start with a plan. Here are 4 steps. First of all, when it comes to market research, define the problem you're trying to solve and what outcomes you want. So for Dexy's example, the question is, should we add lunch service? What's the revenue potential and what are the risks? Step number 2, how will you collect the information? What primary, surveys, interviews, focus groups, and secondary data, which would include national surveys, how will you collect that information? And then how are you going to physically collect, analyze, and process the information? What's the sample? That is, who are you going to survey? You actually have to conduct the surveys. Are you going to do that face-to-face? Are you going to have them mail something back? Are they going to email something? Are they going to do it on the web? Those kinds of things. And then finally, report the findings and take action. The plan lays out the steps that you need to take to get the research information that you really want. So here are some examples of primary data collection. Telephone surveys, email and online surveys. Back in the olden days, we did U.S. mail surveys. Have you ever been in a mall when somebody asks you to answer a few surveys? That's called a mall intercept survey. Personal interviews. Focus groups. Focus groups are when a group of people come together, and they're usually paid by the brand, to answer questions about the brand. Mystery shoppers. Any of you that work in retail may know about mystery shoppers. Someone is hired to go in and test the reactions of the retail staff. Sometimes it's testing customer service, sometimes it's testing product knowledge. Neuromarketing is something that is used, they wire up your brain to measure brain activity and response to certain stimuli like an ad or a postcard or a poster. And then eye tracking, literally tracking where your eyes go as you look at a poster or you look at an ad or you in particular look at a website. Each of these methods has positive and negative advantages. And that concludes the quick video on marketing research.